that should have fixed it. I don't know why that got changed. It was working earlier. I got to run, Mike. I got to go dump a water tank, and so if you guys finish up before I get back, I will shut the stream down afterwards. In the meantime, I apologize about, I don't know how that happened, but it's back on.
You hear the stream now, you hear the audio now, Richard?
I'm hearing you on the radio. Let me see if I can hear the live stream again. I got it covered up here. Let's see. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, well, I can see something, but I don't hear anything. I can see a signal which looks like you're talking there now.
No, you're talking. That was your voice. The stream is only about 3.5 seconds behind your actual voice. Over.
Oh yeah, I could see myself, but now it's coming through. I couldn't hear a thing, so now I am getting it. Over.
Yeah, well, Frank fixed it. It was something that he had overlooked or accidentally bumped or something. Go ahead, Frank, and I'm going to go back to the Bay Area, so you can shut it off whenever you get back. It won't hurt if you leave it on.
Yeah, roger that, Mike. It's going to probably take me about 10, 15 minutes. So anyways, good evening, one and all. Thanks for being there. Hi, Richard, and W6BBS running to do a chore.
Okay, I'm pointed really weird for you, Richard. I'm down at 340. Normally you're at 2 or 3 degrees past north. Over.
Yeah, something strange about the path this time, but you were a lot louder when you were pointing towards Redding. So anyway, it just must be conditions. But you were pretty loud all the time you were in Sacramento and that area as well. Over.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't make any sense at all. I'm pointed almost that way now. I'm at 340. I was at 333 for Redding, so only 7 more degrees. I'll go there, and you can watch it. I'm at 340, 330, 334. What is that? 330. What does this say, Judy?
334.
334 right now. That's awful close to Redding. What do you see there, Richard? Over.
Yep, that brought your signal up by at least 2 S units, if not more. You're much louder on that heading than you were where you were pointing before. Over.
We must be bouncing off of a peak somewhere. Okay, that's sometimes the advantage of a very narrow pattern, both E and H plane, because I must be picking up a peak that might have been always there, but it may not be at the right knife edge or something from the other antenna. This antenna is about 20, 25 feet, 30 feet lower than the single 19-element Yagi I normally use. Over.
Yeah, well, it's doing a good job. You were S9. It dropped down a little bit, but with the QSB, but evidently it likes that direction. Maybe there's a mountain you're bouncing off of or something, but it definitely seems to like it. Over.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'll go out. I'll leave it as it is. I'm not going to go back and try to pick up late checks and mist in the Bay Area. I'll just leave the antenna right where it is, and I'll sight it in the morning and see what the hell we've got going on here. Thanks, Richard, and good to hear you this morning on 6 meters at noon or 2 o'clock. I didn't hear anything else, but I didn't stay much around. I was around the radio, but I didn't hear anything other than your voice there. So, and I didn't look to see if there was a spectrum up at FT8. I just didn't take the time. I don't know why. I was doing a lot of little loose end stuff today. Probably most of the time just checking. I was probably in the radio right here, but I never thought to look. All right. I'll let you go, but thanks for sticking around. I don't think we missed Larry, but we've got him checked in, so you can tell him that we checked him in. And I know Daniel's not here because he doesn't have any antennas at his house at the moment. So we won't even bother to get Daniel, and I'm pretty sure that Fallon, Nevada would hear me if you're hearing me. K7SUN, any chance you're there, Stan? Okay, nothing from Stan. So we'll let you go, Richard. I'll go rest my voice, and we'll get out of here and get ready to get horizontal. 73s. KD6BQ, K6MYC. Yeah, Roger, Roger. Now I should go back to the direct path and see what happens. I'm going to go back to direct path. Well, no, I'm going to leave it where it is because I want to see what I'm bouncing off of. 7373. KD6BQ, K6MYC, clear. And Rob, are you there?
Yep, 73, Mike.
73.
Roger.
Okay, we're going to make a count. I don't know what we have here.
I got 2 interruptions there. I missed my call for the 10-meter net, so I missed some time when I picked up late checks on the 10-meter net. And then I got a phone call, and I missed it between Lee over there at Monterey and Jim, PQL. So I don't know if you had any contacts in the middle there or not. I was going to get it off the stream, but no audio. I won't be able to get it off the stream. Over.
Hey, put me in there, WA6LOL 856.
Okay, a little distorted, Dave, but we got you. LOL, WA6LOL 856. Make a little longer transmission and see what's going on with the audio.
Oh, okay. All right. K6MYC, WA6LOL. By the way, 6 meters has been open to South America. Not booming, but pretty good opening both yesterday and today, so around noontime. So anyway, South America, Argentina and Chile and all those places. So, and then also down to Norfolk Island, around New Zealand down there. That VK9 I think was on K6MYC, WA6LOL.
Yeah, well, they're all on FT8, so I'm not going to hear them or work them or care.
Yeah, that's why I didn't call you, because it was, I know you like to, the band opens up enough to work them on sideband and stuff over there. I went over there to that 50.125 and 50.10 and called a couple times, but I didn't work anybody.
Well, both Richard and I listened all day. I heard Richard calling QRZ and CQ at about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I think it was, and I don't know where I was. I was pointed toward Europe, left over from the morning where I was monitoring. And then we picked up Richard. We had a chat here on the band on 6, and then I said, I'm going to go to the Caribbean, so I went down to 95, 100 degrees and listened there, and then later, at about 3:30, I went down to VKZL at about 2:35. And I didn't hear anything there either on 125. So, and I didn't see any real serious activity on FT8 either. I would have if I probably would have sat there and watched it a while. I have it on the spectrum display. It makes a spike when there's somebody on there, and I know where the spike is. So, I don't know. Anyway, the audio sounds a little bit. You may be talking very close to the mic. There sounds like there's some lip and spit. Breath noise or something there that's not your normal audio. Over.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that. Yeah, I'll check it out. That's about the time that the openings were. I think I looked at the clock today. I think it was around noon, 12:30 or something when it was open. So, all right. Well, anyway, yeah, I've been playing with different types of coax, getting rid of those UHF connectors, and I mean, yeah, the UHF ones, and noticed quite a difference what the UHF connectors do to the way a piece of coax looks on the analyzer.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. They have quite a bump at 432. Okay, well, we'll see you tomorrow night on 432, and hopefully you'll have it a little bit stronger than it was before. Over.
Okay, Mike. Yeah, I'm not going to be on 432 tomorrow because I yanked both of those antennas down. I have a M² 18 element linear polarized, not cross polarized, up, and I'm going to pull that down and get that working. That antenna works really well. I've talked down to Mount Fraser on that thing. So anyway, it's going to be a little bit before I get up and running on that. I just wasn't really happy with what I had there.
K6MYC, WA6LOL.
Well, you never got it working right. Yeah. God only knows what you had with all that coax and stuff in there. I think the antenna is probably fine, but the 30, the 18 is probably a little stronger anyway, so it won't hurt to stay that way, as long as you're not going to do any satellite work or switching and back and forth between vertical or horizontal or circular. Then the 18 will probably be fine. I have 4 of those up. That's my backup in the barn. I got 3 432 antennas in there. I'd forgotten about it the other day. Walked out and asked Judy, what's at the top of my other tower there? Because I can't see them anymore. And she said, well, I don't know. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 4 things up there with 12 elements each. And I remembered I had stacked vertically 4 EME12s, 432 EME12s. So that works very well. It's a good array as a backup for my XP40s on 432. All right, over to you, Rob, and wrap it up. And I could give you numbers, but actually we could read the whole list to you. I don't want to keep Judy in here, but if you want, I'll read the whole list to you. Over.
Okay, just a minute, Mike. Hey, Dave, I got a question for you. WA6LOL, KM6SRR.
Yeah, hi, Rob.
Hey, how you doing? Are you going to make it down for our club meeting this Friday night? Over.
Well, I'm going to try. I hate to make commitments anymore because I've been such a flake, but they went in and cast my heart and opened up an 80% blockage and a 90 on the left side, and now they're going to go in and do the right side the 1st of next month. But I've been feeling way better, so my blood flow is getting around. But then I called down to the Piccadilly, and they're full. I never had that happen before. The Piccadilly's full, but I was just looking online at another place, so I'm going to try.
Okay, well, that's all I can ask for. Just got this hole in my pocket burning to buy somebody a dinner. Over.
I know, a lobster dinner. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that ought to be some incentive to get you down here, huh? Okay, well, good to hear you there. WA6LOL, KM6SRR.
See how good that Denny's makes lobster, huh? All right, yeah, I'll try. Go ahead, Mike, K6MYC and the gang, WA6LOL.
Okay, where do you want me to start? Because did you get the original list that Frank read off to me?
Yes, I think I got that in the relays from Dennis. What do you have for a count? Maybe I'll start there. I've got 40.
Well, you got more than we got. We only have 39. Oh, we do have 40.
I got John KG6USS in there because I heard him talking about hearing us and stuff, so I thought I'd put him in there. 831, over.
Yeah, we did not put 831, and I did put Pat in. Pat was the only LA station I did put on the list, so I got 58 only, over.
Yeah, I got 58 also. Well, then I'm still short one somewhere. What did you have after Lee 1098 AF6U?
Yeah, I had AB6SR 807.
Okay, yeah, I got him too, but before him was PQL and Dave, VBG. So there was somebody I thought between Jim and Lee, over.
Well, we had Brett in here, 1129.
Okay, that's one I don't have. Okay.
Yeah. He's in Newman, just on this side of the hill, but easy copy. All right, that explains it. I think you got everybody else there. I think we're okay.
I have a question about 849.
849?
849 is a number I couldn't...
We can't find 849 on the list, but that's what I think I wrote down here. I thought I got 10... Where is it? Show me again, Judy. Okay.
149.
No, it wouldn't be 849. 1049. Is there a 1049 on your list?
Okay, I'm looking. Yeah, that'd be a guy in Burbank, so I don't think that's right either. Yeah, I had written down 849. That was one that got passed on to us by Dennis, I think. Over. Yeah, that's Rich up in Placerville. That could have come from Dennis, 849 KA6NBC. Over.
Now that's it. That is the number, 849. Rich hasn't checked in for about a year. That's why I didn't remember the number. That's who it is. So we have 40.
Okay, well, then I guess I got everything you got. I didn't have Brett in from Newman there in 5 NPD.
Yeah, if Judy's got room, we can put 831 in there.
Okay, well, I guess that's about it. And I'll just fly with this because I can't listen to the stream, and I got to get up at 4 a.m. tomorrow, go down to the LA area for a service. So I got to quit talking and get to bed.
Yep, go to bed. We'll see you. And drive safe, and we'll talk to you maybe when you get back. 7-3 for now. I think we're okay. WKM6SRR in the group. Anybody left? 73. You, Dave, don't want to rush off, but we're done here, and we're all tired. K6MYC. Go ahead, Dave. I think Dave's going also. 7-3 all. K6MYC. Bozo Net.
Good night, Mike. WA6LOL.
7-3. Yeah, when you first come on, you're real gravelly. It seems to clear up after a few words. Maybe it's just your voice, Dave. Over.
You know, my voice has been gravelly. I'll try and talk a little clearer. Is that any better?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's okay. It's just your voice. I pick up that kind of stuff, and sometimes it's hard to determine whether it's coming from the radio or coming from the person. I probably sound that way in the morning too. All right, take care. And we'll talk to you tomorrow, perhaps, or Sunday night for sure. WA6LOL, K6MYC.
Yeah, my voice has carbon microphone syndrome, I think. Yeah, it's really interesting what I've been seeing, looking at coaxes and seeing those half-wave dips along the line over frequency.
Yeah, good. That's what you're seeing, and that's good to know. And when the dip goes all the way to the baseline, like it's a perfect match, that means the piece of coax is pretty good. It doesn't have any loss, and it has very minimal loss. Let's put it that way, and it's very close to 50 ohms. So that's a good sign. It's a crude test, but it's a first test that I do on a piece of coax when I'm looking at it, just to see if it's worth going any further with. Over.
Yeah, the best representation of that I saw was a piece of 30-foot piece of LMR 600, and it's got, pretty good connectors. A nice new piece I really haven't used much. And boy, the dips go right down to 1.02 to 1, and they're just even, and the pattern is just really, it just goes up into a hump and then right down into a sharp dip. And then the pattern is different with the different ones, and some of them, if I have a UHF connector in there, it just doesn't want to do that right at all.
Yeah, it won't, at least at the input. You're doing this with an open on one end, so when the one end is open, it doesn't matter whether it's got a UHF on that end or not. I don't think, I've never done it with a UHF connector on it, but I don't think that would have any effect on it. But certainly on the input end, by the T at the VNA, it's going to make an effect.
Yeah. Well, I'm just getting rid of them. I've been clipping them off like mad, and I got a bunch of solder-on type end connectors that I like, so I've been just replacing them all. And then I tested some pieces of 400, and one of the pieces of 400 looks pretty crummy, and then the other one doesn't look too bad. But anyway, I'll probably get used to knowing what to look for the more that I do it.
Yeah, well, the next test is to, if it doesn't have a connector, put a connector on it and then see if you can make a loss measurement. You may not have all the test equipment you need for loss measurement, at some point in time, I have some extra equipment here. HP 431, I think, is the number. It's a very good VSWR meter with a coupler that's very accurate, and you can use that in conjunction with what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to think what I'm trying to put together here. Yeah, well, the HP 431 power meter, or VSWR, or it's a DBM meter. I'm forgetting what they call that meter. I've got 3 or 4 of them anyway. And the meters you can pick up for $25, but the coupler, which does all the work and gives you the proper readings, they run a couple $100 a piece if you have to buy them, I think. Anyway. But otherwise, they're a good piece of test equipment. And then you can measure the power output of your VNA by plugging your SWR meter right into it directly. Measure the power as long as it's 10 milliwatts or less, because that's all the meter can handle, 10 milliwatts. And then go to the other end of the cable. Now, the VSWR meter also is reading in millivolts and also in dB. So let's say you set it up so that you have full-scale reading. When you're looking directly from with the VSWR meter's coupler right into your VNA, and you're seeing, let's say, excuse me, my voice is giving up. You're seeing 0 dBm or plus 10 dBm. That's 10 milliwatts. And then you go through the piece of coax and put the coupler at the other end of the coax, and your VNA right there, feeding the coax, and you can measure the loss in that cable at any frequency you're doing it at. The coupler is very flat. It's good to multiple gigahertzes, so you don't have any issues with a bad match at some weird frequency or anything. So it's very handy for all that kind of stuff, and you're getting to the point where you need something like that. Over.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, maybe next time I run into you or something, I could borrow one of those things and mess with it. I wanted to let you know, Mike, boy, I don't know what's wrong with our voices here, that X-polarized antenna is fine, I'm sure. I've used it on satellites, as a matter of fact, was what I used that for, was the 430 link on satellite systems, and it works great. It just, I had all that junky coax, and I had a UHF connector in there and everything, and I thought, I was messing with them, and then I only have the 1.2 gigahertz antenna, is a very small little Yagi that I picked up a long time ago, and it's just a piece of junk. And I've got a long loop Yagi that I built, and then I've got another commercial loop Yagi. It's a 55 element loop Yagi at 1.2, and then I've got that 18 element, that M squared 18 element, which is an awesome antenna. And I thought, well, I'm just going to use those, so I'm pulling that mast down, and I'm going to get those in shape, and then use those, and then I'll have a good signal.
Yeah, very good. Sounds good. And what I could do, if I go to this meeting, or maybe I can even arrange it to give it to Rob if we don't go, and you come down, I just bring one of these little VSWR bridges, VSWR meters, and a coupler to you, and you can write me a piece of paper that says I'm borrowing it, or you could buy it, make me an offer. You could look it up on the web and see what they're going for. I don't even know. The meters, like I say, the meters show up all over. Nobody cares about the meter. The coupler is the expensive part, because that's got all the labor in it to tune it and tweak it, make it work to 5 and 10 gigahertz and so on. And it's just part of the cable. It's a piece of cable. The cables are worth about $45. It goes from the coupler back to the VSWR bridge. That's the kind of stuff I pick up at flea markets and stuff. And so I've got I have at least 3 of those meters and couplers. So I can spare one. I'm not even using them anymore because I can't hardly read the meter anymore. So you could take it, and then you could make me an offer. Over.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I'm going to try and make it down. like I was telling Rob, I almost hate to be making. I don't like to renege on commitments, but had a lot of health problems going on, and I just didn't know what the hell was going on. Every time I'd go to do something, I couldn't do it, So anyway, but I don't know if you overheard, I got some catheterization work done on my heart, and they went up in there and they opened up a 90% and an 80% block, and then over on the other side they've got two more equally blocked that they're going to open up. So I'm actually feeling pretty good. I'm running around up on the roof and all over the place, and but yeah, I'll try and get down that way, and then if Rob isn't going to come up and get you, maybe I could.
It's not that so much whether Judy wants to go. And then, of course, there's always the option for me to leave Judy home, but I'll play it by ear, okay?
All right, sounds good. And we'll see you get a little bit closer to the time. I'm actually probably going to go ahead and get the hotel here, so I'm pretty positive that I'm coming down, and I seem to be doing okay on road trips and everything here. And gosh, it feels horrible. Well, not being able to do stuff and not being able to weather a stupid 2-hour road trip. That's embarrassing. I can do 1,500 miles pretty easy in one day. K6MYC WA6LOL.
Well, I'm glad you caught it, because much more blockage than that, and we'd be going to memorial service for you. We don't need that. So get the other side fixed, and then you'll be home free, it sounds like, for quite a while. I knew something was wrong, Dave, because you just didn't seem to have the energy all of a sudden. So I knew something was wrong, but, it's hard to tell over the air how to diagnose that. And I wasn't sure that it wasn't all the chemo adding up to you as well. Anyway, thanks for the input, and that explains a lot of things. So I'll drag out a meter tomorrow when Frank's here, get a meter working, and make sure it well works, and I'll have it ready for you. They just plug into a regular 110-volt socket. It comes with a cord and everything, so I'll give you a complete meter. It's a very nice piece of Hewlett-Packard equipment, so you'll be impressed, and you'll be able to make very nice loss measurements with it. On the long term, at flea markets and stuff, you want to start picking up dummy loads and attenuators and things like that that work at up to 50 milliwatts or so. Over.
I don't know about this.
What's that?
Well, I get done and we get that, and it's all dialed in and everything else. I mean, you're a blind guy. You're not going to know what's going to happen. It might just end up in the seat of my pickup.
Okay.
No, carry on, guys. I'm back.
Yeah, well, maybe
you guys
I might be down there trying to figure out how to work this.
Perfect double.
I'm probably going to be coming down there to find out how to work this darn thing.
You guys carry on. Over.
They're not hard to work, Dave. It's so straightforward. You can't miss it. And we'll give you a quick class that'll take about 2 minutes. Over.
I guess, yeah, what you're saying, you measure it at one end of the coax and then go out to the other end of the coax and see what's left.
Yeah, exactly. It's usually, if you have 100 feet of LMR 400, you're going to see 2 dB less, more or less. Over.
Yeah, that probably sounds pretty straightforward. Awesome. Yeah, that'd be fun to goof around with. And then anyway, it's always nice to know. I don't like to have to, you want to do something and then you look at the coax, you're just not sure, so you have to go out and buy new. It'd be really nice to be able to use up some of the questionable coax and know that it's going to work right.
Yeah, and a lot of times you could say, well, this isn't any good for 432, but it's going to be fine for 40 meters.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, that sounds good. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and reserve that place. It's over there. It's in Clovis, Hometown Studios. And Piccadilly Inn was full this Friday. So Hometown Studios, it's off Shaw. Not quite as far east as Piccadilly, though.
You mean west?
Yeah. It's between the Piccadilly and Highway 99 on the north side of the Shaw.
Oh, Okay. Yeah, well, that's even closer to where you're going. I don't think it probably make a hell of a lot of difference driving to that place or the other. It's just further from Denny's. Okay. I was going to suggest the other Piccadilly at the airport. There's a Piccadilly Inn at the airport also.
Yeah, I saw that one, and then I ran across this place. It looks okay. I looked at it on Google Earth, and I did a drop down on a street view on it and looked at it just to make. And it seems to be a nice area. It looks pretty nice, so I'm going to go ahead and reserve that, I think.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just down toward 99 from where our plant is there. All right, well, listen, let me get out of here. Frank wants to shut the stream down. I want to go out and make ready for Betty, and we'll talk to you subsequently here. You've got my phone number, so when you're absolutely confirmed and you're on your way, and if you want to come by here and maybe before, maybe even Friday early, you could call me and see if I'm going to go or not. I may just go in with you, and if Judy doesn't want to go, fine. Otherwise, and then I can always ride back home here with Frank, with Rob. That's not an issue. So yeah, if you want to do that, that would make it easier on Rob. Over.
Great, awesome. Okay, well, I'll give you a call then early Friday.
Yeah, you got my number, right?
I do, yes.
Okay, good. 7373, Frank, good evening. We'll see. Did you get your job done today, Frank? You're going to be down here in the morning?
Yeah, give me a second. I was just drinking. You caught me drinking again, Michael. All right, yes, I'm going to be down. Yeah, I got them all exposed, and then they're going to do their work over the next couple days, and after they're all done, I'll go back and bury everything back. So that is done. Something else transpired today. I got on the phone with RPS Pumps. That's the people that sold us a solar pump. And had a long conversation with a very knowledgeable tech and about batteries and solar and this, that, and the other, and found out I can run a power supply all the way up to 95 volts into the power source, into the solar source. So I got to rethink my looking at a converter. Step up from 48 to 90 would probably be even better. But my real problem with my pump, as it turns out, is I've worn it out already. And I know it's only been a year and a half, but he said when we're turning real slow like that on those low producing wells, that they're working harder and they wear faster, and that's why they have the replacement system that they do. If you recall, I already have the replacement screw in the it's out in a drawer in the shop, but I have one that came with the pump when I got it, and all I have to do is pull the pump and put that in, and then send them the old one. They'll send me another replacement to be sitting on my shelf. So that started another whole project now. I've got holes currently about 18 inches deep, and I got to tell you, that's a pretty solid bedrock decomposed granite down there, but I'm about 18 inches deep right now. I got water soaking in it. Digging 3 holes. I'm going to have 3 pipes coming up that the legs of row 25 will sit down in. And I'm going to do a regular section and a top section of row 25. And so, anyways, I got all the parts laid out here. I'm digging the holes for my well pulling, my pulling rig, so I don't have to have Jen sit on a ladder anymore. But I'm going to have to pull my pump and replace the screw. Over.
Oh, gotcha.
So anyways, other than that, I will see you in the morning, and I can continue that project on Friday. It's not like I'm out of water. I just hauled another 40, 45 gallons up that has been running since the sun went down on batteries, on my battery system, and into the tank, and I just dumped that. So yeah, I'm up to 6-7 inches from my overflow now. So I've almost got that tank back to full.
Okay, and maybe you can, if these guys get done with that sewer on Friday, you can use that lost Friday to go up there, because you can certainly be close enough where you could see the sanitary truck driver when he comes, huh?
Oh yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, I know you can't really see it, but you know when you're standing right where our house is and everything, and you look towards her house on that little ridge, a lot of it's shaded by trees, and her garage faces me, but I can't actually see it. Now, when she comes out of her driveway, out of her garage, she actually drives towards me and down below her house a little bit, and it goes around in a big loop, and she goes like in a great big C and comes back around almost under the other corner of her house. And it's right on that little ridge right there where all this is going on, and that's where those big trees are. And right where I'm working is the one spot on her property that she has the perfect shot looking right onto my porch and everything. Over.
Yeah, good. So the point is you could make some money on Friday instead of sitting home waiting for the sanitary guy.
Oh yeah, make some money, or it doesn't matter, whether I'm there, hers, yours, or here. I gotta work 16, 17 hours a day right now, just so much to. But I'm accomplishing a lot. I mean, there's a lot getting done here. As you know, there's been improvements in ham radio, but that's not a priority. And I'm really working towards winterization right now. And this project with the well, that's just a sidestep. But if you want to own a piece of property and do something with it, you always have that kind of stuff to deal with. So I'm just busy, but it's keeping me out of trouble and keeping me from being depressed. Over.
Good deal. Okay. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk more. And let me get out of here. I'm tired today for some reason. I didn't do anything. We were going to do something all day and I never got to it. Did a lot of other little loose end things, but nothing major. See ya. Good evening to you, Dave, if you're still listening, or anybody else. K6MYC, clear and closing. Bye-bye.
Good night, Mike. Good night, Frank. Rob, WA6LOL, QRT.
And the moon bounce amplifier is just barely warm to the touch, Frank, and been running beautifully. I haven't seen any issues here. Over.
That's just par for the course, Mike. When I do work on your systems, I fix something at one end and I go back to the other end and it quit working. And this is not the first time this has happened where I've walked away and said I'll catch it on the next day, and you walk in to turn it on and it all works. So it's just that ghost that likes to just piss me off. Over.
I wouldn't piss you off. You should be thankful.
Well, no, but I mean, I was going crazy because you remember I started in the shack and worked my way down all the way up to that box and knew everything was good to that point. The only thing I hadn't done was take a dummy load out there on the tower and plug in and put power through the whole coax. That's the only thing I didn't do. And then I find the problem in the box and fix it. Everything's hunky-dory. Although part of my brain was saying, maybe all those acorns, maybe they got moisture or something, and maybe that relay's just not working as good as it needs to. And but apparently Mike's, you remember the other night I tuned your radio, and everybody thought you had the magic touch, and it was all oohing and on. Well, maybe we should ooh and on, because you have the magic touch there, buddy.
Far from it. I went to switch over today from the beacon. It was sitting here on the beacon frequency, and I was listening to the beacon, and I went to switch over to 240, and it wouldn't switch. So I tuned down to 240. Then I pushed a button, and it went back to the beacon.
I think you must have, at some point there, tuned to the beacon first on your 240 frequency or something, because it should have just switched back. It sounds to me like it was switching, but it was switching between the beacon frequency and the beacon frequency. Over.
Well, no. Well, it might have been. It just wasn't switching. It wouldn't go off the beacon. It wouldn't go down to 240. So I tuned down to 240, then I hit the button again. I did this several times. I tried it over and over and over again to get it to switch, and I was watching the display very carefully, and nothing was changing, and it didn't change the beacon one iota. So it wasn't switching from A to B, unless they were both on A, and that might have been it. Somehow by some weird accident, they must have both been netted at the beacon frequency, like you say. Enough of that. We'll not worry about it. But I went to go to the other frequency and it wouldn't go there, so it must have been already netted for some reason. I didn't tune it. I never touched the radio to tune anything until I finally went down to 240. That's the first time I tuned it, went it down to 240, and then I hit the button that went back to 274.573.
Yeah, well, as we were finishing that up, you were also on the phone with somebody, and at one point got on speakerphone, so I can't remember who it was we were talking to, and I talked to him a little bit, and then got you back on the phone, and maybe it was my fault, but I'm blaming you. I'm saying you're just blind and forgetful, and that you tuned it up for yourself to manually to the beacon and forgot, didn't switch back. But anyways, good night, Mike. Have a good one, and to everybody listening on the stream, I apologize for earlier. When I first put it on, I checked everything was working, but in all the other stuff I was doing, somehow the audio decided it wanted to go listen to the barn, and Mikey's not in the barn. So sorry about that, but W6BBS 72 is shutting down the stream.
Good night, Frank.
Night.
Good night, Frank. Good night.